Welcome to the Leaf Cast. Sorry, guys, I got some technical things going on. Hey, well, this is a live talk show based on the epic. Joining me, as always, is my brother Dan and Jansen, the Gleeman. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming.
Hi.
How y'all doing? Today. I'm excited to talk about this today.
Yeah,
a lot of things to talk about.
Let me turn this music down. There we go.
Going to be delving into a lot of the Sedai today.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is a very fun chapter to talk about because it does touch on some of the issues that we all have with the Sedai. I mean, we consider the Sedai to be the good guys, and yet they, by certain definitions, are not very good at all when we're talking about ethical, personal. They rely on the 3 L's too much to dictate their own personal ethics, perhaps. But we can talk about that. Hi, Jansen. It is so good to see you again, my friend. I spent a lovely freaking time visiting Jansen, not once but twice. So good, so great, so magnificent. So it's good to see you. I gotta say, man, just staying at your house, I feel like I'm like you and I are like just deeper friends now. Like just having just seeing you with your family and you cooking for us and stuff. It's just like, I don't know.
Well,
man,
dude, your family, man. Your family, man. So
yeah,
it's real awesome to have you here all the time, anytime.
Yeah. Well, likewise. We are talking about this book here. It's called The Real Time of Philosophy. It's edited by Jacob Held. And the chapter we're talking about today is called, it's chapter 13. Everyone open your books to page 131 in your textbooks. It is called On the Supposed Right to Slay Dragons Because of Philanthropic Concerns, The Mysterious Ethics of the Sedai. It is written by Steve Bein, I'm going to say, B-E-I-N, Einstein, I'm going to say Bein. I'm going to read this thing. It says, quote, Steve Bein is true blade of Southwest Ohio, bearer of the Holy Grade book, defender of the wall of students writing their own papers instead of letting AI do it, translator of Watsuji, Kyoshi Bujin Buji Jutsu, Lord of Stately Bein Manor, and associate professor of philosophy at the University of Daytona.
Wow.
He says the big philosophical question that drives him these days is, if duty is as heavy as a mountain, then why is it so easy to put off unwanted tasks until the last minute? That is Steve Bein, Professor Steve Bein, and that's who wrote this article here. This was a fun one to read. Ryan, you had actually texted us saying, yeah, man, let's go.
Yeah, I agree. I think it might be like one my favorite so far. I think he's like a punk rock philosopher.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Josh can't be here. Hopefully he'll be in next week. He is one with nature right now, I think.
No nature, okay.
Now, what would Kant say? Wait, Dan, what would Kant say about Josh not being here right now?
Josh, Kant would not be very happy with it, I don't think.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
There are no excuses. There are no days off.
A whole lot like G-Ito.
You know what? It's not a bad way to put it.
Well, no compromise.
So
yeah, they do get into weirdness, though. Go ahead.
So to get into the article, it starts off in this very interesting way. He's taking the POV of Moraine from the early books. So again, there's full spoilers. Like at this point, Moraine does not know that the taint will be cleansed. So the calculus of Moraine's decision making includes this man who I need to fight the Dark One will go mad. We don't know when. Could be before the fight, could be after the fight, but it will happen. And yet she persists in trying to like support him, teach him, and convince him to fight the Dark One.
Yes.
And
However, there is one huge difference between the book and the show, which they also were making references to. And that's the fact that in the books, it doesn't say in any prophecy that Rand has a choice between the light and the going to be the Shadows champion. Now, what they do is they do hint that Moraine, or not even hint, they blatantly say Moraine is doing everything she can for them not to be on the Shadow. And she, and at the very beginning of it, you know, in Eye of the World, I believe this is right before the chapter is not Beryl Stag. No, it was right before that one. But she tells all the boys, before I see you join the Shadow, I'll kill you myself.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
And
literally over my dead body.
yes, she's like, I will destroy you myself. But in the show, they have this dilemma that he's going to be either or, which makes the stakes way, way, way higher, which is something that I can understand for a show because the stakes have to be extremely high for a show.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't like like fucking what's his name, one of the Forsaken damage red or whatever, like constantly tell him like you're gonna join us, like you
No, that
have
was, well, Ishmael had told him that he had. However, we know through Flickr that Rand told him in a million billion lives, I've never joined you.
So now, do we believe that? Do we believe that the wheel turns and he just never? It's always like this dramatic tension, and then it always just like ends in like a, you know,
Well,
you know, it never happens, right?
We can reference, well, as far as a soul goes, we can reference Teleran Riyadh. Brigetta has never been part of the Shadow. And none of the people who were called by the Horn were, and Luz Theron was one of those people. At least they knew him like that. So I don't think he would ever have been part of the Dark One. I think that is the sole reason why the Dark One does what he does, is because he's never, ever, he's tried so many different ways and times, and he can't get him to join it.
Okay. I imagine that's like not necessarily the consensus opinion in chat for sure. Like, let us know what you guys think.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Dan, I think you've brought this up that like it's so predetermined that there's no way that he was A, gonna lose, and B, not just set the wheel back in motion. Like he was never gonna kill the Dark One. You
I the more I think about it, the more it was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, right? And the first time you go on it, you're like, oh, whoa, you're getting whipped around, but then there's always the track goes and picks someone else up, and the age goes on, and so yeah, I kind of think it's like, yeah, the roller coaster could be a little different, but it all just kind of keeps going.
okay? Yeah, I think that was true. You know, we've ad nauseum talked about this. That was true up until the point Rand fought the Dark One. Then everything changed. But yeah, like, and that's why I think, you know, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about like,
right, but again, when you're on Mr. Toad's Wild Ride the first time, you don't know what's going on. You go to hell in that ride. Like you literally go like into a hot place that's all lit red, and you're like supposed to be in hell. Like it's you don't know what's going on with that ride because you never did it. And so Moraine's on this ride. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, there's no like, I don't know, like, you know, you're on a ride. Like, there's no like essence of choice making. There's no like misdirection.
Right, for Rand, I don't think I exactly. I think he had rails the entire time.
Nobody thinks he's making choices. All right, so
the rails were. See, and this it comes back to, I think, like actually, what I think the biggest cages in all the Wheel of Time are the ones that have the foretelling, because those are the foretelling that makes that gives you a blueprint of what's supposed to quote unquote happen, what may or may not happen. But like, if there was no prophecy, no prophecies of the dragon at all, would the same things have happened?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, Dan says yes. Well, how about this, real quick? So, Noma Garden, I love this. I've always wanted to know if Ishii actually had memories of past lives, since Rand only remembered one, even at the end, or whether it was a Dark One trick.
Nice.
That's a great
Well,
idea,
and
because in the end, we learned that like the Dark One was lying about everything to
True.
everyone.
And we also know through everything we've seen that Ishmael, it's very possible he did not see those. It's very possible he came to his conclusions from his profession as a scholar. You know, that's what he was. He was a philosopher. He was a scholar. And in fact, at the end, in A Memory of Light, Rand says, "Is that what happened to you, Elon? Did
I know,
you
but
did you become a mad on your own shit?"
it's kind of like Noam Chomsky started off good and then went to Epstein's Island.
yeah, no more no. That's what I mean. But so let's take this direction into the odds. So it breaks down. There's even a pie chart in here, guys. A pie chart. Look,
Yeah,
that
it's just.
kind of breaks down. I'm sorry.
Oh no, yeah. I was just gonna like frame it. It's he could. It goes through the Hitler problem. If you have a time machine, would you kill Hitler? And should Moraine kill Rand, knowing that in her limited POV that he will eventually go mad, which is. But she also, and this is one of the failings of this article. She says that should Maureen have killed Rand, Matt, and Perrin, because they all could have been the Dragon Reborn, which was, I didn't understand why.
Because
Right?
you know
Well,
why?
I mean,
Because this person is trying to merge the books and the show.
right. Let's take all that aside. Let me finish the point I was trying to make initially. Is that that in this show, Logain says that it's 50-50 chance that Rand can defeat the Dark One. He gives it about 50-50 chance. But when this author breaks down the odds of Rand either losing or turning to the dark side, he gives it more 5 out of 6. He says that that the Dragon Reborn could stay good. He tries to side against the Dark One, but too quickly he goes insane, which was a real possibility, perhaps, in this, or at least the drama around it. The second one was the dragon stays good. He defeats the Dark One quickly enough that he doesn't go insane until after the world is saved, and then he tears shit up. He starts breaking everything and does what the dragon did the first time. It creates a new breaking, which would again be a negative. The only positive out of that 50-50 would be the Dragon Reborn stays good. He quickly defeats the Dark One, then willingly submits to being stilled before going insane. And
Yeah.
this is what Moiraine was kind of counting on. But I guess that's what hope is, right? You find the possibility. Now, I think that Rand always, like Matt's luck, Rand always would have rolled whatever die that would have been that 1 out of 6. He would have always won.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that this author fails to bring into like account. Like, these odds definitely sway towards Rand. Of all the options, even if he were to go to the Dark One, I think something would have intervened to like make him not. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Well,
like
I agree with you.
uh
However, like when you talk about, some of this, and you really break down like everything, especially the Corinthian cycle, it actually tried to tell everyone that he would actually heal Sedai.
All right, RFK, tell me about vaccines. No, what do you mean? That's
From
crazy.
Moraine quoted this as soon as she got out of the tower to Matt. He has made whole what he
Whole
broke.
milk. Yeah, whole milk.
So he tells him,
Sorry.
I mean, that's part, and Matt even says, "Oh my God, that's the site, that's the prophecies of the dragon." So even so, when we talk about the blueprint of the whole prophecy of the dragon, and if you really, really dissect it, it tried to tell them that Rand would do this.
All right, so now let's add that factor into this article. If Moraine was such a believer in the prophecies, would it still have been an option for her to kill him?
It would have been an option, but she had a couple of things and an advantage that only people who've read the books over and over again can realize, and that's the fact that anything that was said with Moraine being a block away or less, anywhere through the entire book, all the books,
Yeah.
Moraine knew what was happening because she was eavesdropping on everybody. She was listening to
Good point.
it goes the end of book one, the very end of book one. She's doing it. She's doing it all the time with her Carnero, or no, not the Carnero. Carnero is the first.
All right, so that's you know what? God damn it, Jensen, I forgot about that, and I liked how Amazon included that. But like, how many readers like me read the first book and then like forgot like ones, especially people had to wait, like,
Yeah.
you forget that she's, you're still questioning whether she's a good or bad, character. Like,
Yeah. And she even left proof, in the letter to Tom and in the letter to Rand, especially. She knew that Rand had to get Asmodean to teach him, and she was worried about that for a while because of Lanfear.
All right, so
yeah,
that's cool.
And this chart also doesn't count into play the threat the White Tower itself caused Rand. In that him being, I mean, so you would think at least 2 or 3 of the Ajas would have agreed that Rand should have been still. You agree that the Reds, I think the Whites would have.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think the Browns would have, because
and the
they're
Grays too. The Grays
but
too.
I think the Grays would have. I think the Grays would have as well. And so, so that doesn't even include those threats. You have other threats of people just shielding him or just trying to like do these, like take away his power. Like it happens a couple times.
And the Rand, and even to some extent Matt and Perrin, they had the ultimate plot armor though. And if you even read it, this is how it's read throughout the entire series. Every time, when the Aes Sedai had a plan for Rand that he didn't want, or that they thought they knew what was best, their Taviran natures kicked in. Like even at Demise Wells, they do things that they would have never done, and their Taviran nature kicks in and literally disrupts all the things they want to do around those three.
Yeah. Right. Tavernus. Yeah. So I mean, we talked about this a lot, but so let's get into what the article was talking about. How severe was Moraine's moral dilemma, I guess, to protect Rand?
At the beginning of the book, it was huge because they referenced so many times how worried she was that he could be turned to the shadow, because there's so many things that even our heroes didn't know, or there were so many half-truths that they believed as real, through the entire books. There's some big ones, but she was extremely worried about Lanfear more than anything else. and whether it was a gut feeling at first, and then after she went through the ring, she knew for sure. She
Hey,
was
Perk
scared that
Franklin.
she was what?
Sorry,
Oh
I was just
yeah,
saying
dude.
hi to Perk Franklin. We got a new friend. He's a little confused. Just hang on. Hang out. Hang out. My God. Sorry.
Yeah, no. So it's like, yeah, we have all those things that we're looking at, and
So let's look at
Well, I got a
the
question,
Aes
Deb,
Sedai. Okay.
real quick. Before we move on, Jansen, is Moraine in the prophecies anywhere?
in the what in the prophecies,
Yeah.
Moraine, Moraine.
Chat, chime in if you know the answer.
I
Is
don't.
Moraine? Yeah.
I'd have to go over them because the only thing they would reference her as blue, if they
Uh-huh.
would. That's the only thing because I don't remember. Does anyone know what was the banner of House Dimodred? I don't know if they ever
It.
mentioned. They never mentioned that, did they? What was her banner? Maybe in Great Hunt when they
I
went
want
to
to think it's a bird of some sort, but I can't confirm that at all.
House Dimodred. Okay,
Okay,
yeah, no,
Ben.
I don't know unless they called her the caretaker or something like that.
Yeah, it would have to be like very subtle, but
Yeah, because I mean, we know that Tuan is in the mentioned. We know that. See, are we going to consider? We don't consider. I mean, maybe in the next stage, Min adds her own parts to the prophecies of the dragon. Like
Oh shit! What? Oh. Okay. So,
you
do you
know,
think that the prophecies were?
written
I
over
never
time.
thought the prophecies were done by like someone like Min. I thought they were done by someone like Katara,
Well,
who
think
just
about. Well,
went.
who do you think? Let's think. Who had a lot of? Remember, how did the Shan get the prophecies? Now we know that their Damani could also read the future and things like that. And how did they get the Ascenic cycle? We know that they had their own version of a Darbenda at least 400 years ago, and other ones. They say that they had Doomseers before that. So some of those
weren't they altered?
Doomseers, huh?
Weren't they altered by Damage though? Isn't that one of the stories of the Shan Chan is wasn't it Damage like one of the Forsaken altered their prophecies, and that's what
Or
corrupted them.
Semerhag or whatever, yeah.
I think it's Damage.
But yeah, or Demodred, but yeah, but they could definitely still see the future. And we know that some of the Ascenic cycle was absolutely right. Rand did weep over his own grave. He did.
Mhm.
He was blinded, and now he saw. Those were all parts of the Shansen prophecies. So we know that those were true. And but as far as Moraine, I don't think Moraine was in. I don't remember her unless like now, and we can say this is the wheel of time. Things keep going on. The prophecies of the dragon were written over the course of ages. People put in their we know that for a fact because so many different prologues and that we see are from librarians from different ages, from different things who wrote. We even and yes, we have proof that some of it was written in the fourth age.
Right. Right.
Well,
So
loyal, yeah.
And or there's others in an unknown age.
yeah, so who's to say Min didn't put her parts in because
Well,
Min
but so here's the funny thing about Min though is that she has to physically see them. Guitar Moroso did not have to physically see shit. In fact, in the show, she could not physically see shit. She was actually blind.
in the show, yeah.
Does this indicate? Will we say that this is a disability or a handicap that's placed upon Min's viewing that she can't necessarily give prophecy because she has to like fucking
Well,
see someone to
her
get it?
power is a singular based thing, kind of like Huron. Neither of them
Yeah.
can channel. Neither of them can channel, but they have that power. Like so.
No,
I don't.
but she has to like see the human to
Yeah,
prophesize one
yes.
future, not like big shit that's not like
I
she.
don't
You know what I
see
mean?
what
Like
she does as prophecy. I see it as like
I
truth.
agree, Dave.
She's a truth speaker, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to define it.
No, I get it. But that being said, even though she is what she is, the things that she sees are true. So she was there. I can see her giving, putting her 2 cents in. Um, I mean, because anything she writes down in Shanshan, they're going to take as talisman.
Maybe she'll have a foretelling. Maybe she'll have a viewing of one of the foretellers.
Well, everybody could channel. She said that everyone who could channel, she saw viewings around them.
Yeah.
Let's jump back into the morality of Moraine, if I can, because
Oh yeah.
I want to ask you guys what
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you guys: is Moraine a big fat liar?
Oh yeah. Pants on fire. Hell yeah.
She is a hypocrite by her own values of necessity. Like
Which are her own code. She is definitely an.
yes,
I mean, so
and
yeah, go
yeah,
on.
her code, her only code, and she says this at least twice, is to shepherd the dragon reborn into the world and help him win the last battle and see him to
Right,
the last battle. So whatever it
and
takes. She
we
even
could
says
say
that
that
to
she was
Lan.
vital.
Yeah, she
I
was
mean,
vital.
yeah.
She was
No,
vital.
and that's why it was really interesting to talk about whether she's in the the Corinthian cycles or whatever, because like this woman takes it upon herself. She and her pillow friend witness something and then go on a lifelong secret mission, and she is an absolute super soldier. When I say she's a liar, like yeah, she's survived 20 years searching for this
Well,
whole
Ryan, let's dig a little deeper into that. So I don't think Loyal is in any of the prophecies. I don't think Nynaeve is. I know Egwin is through her the flame of Tarvalon, her like sacrifice at the end. I
Wait
know
for the
Matt.
light. Wait for the light. That's the closest thing that we know of with her.
We know that Matt and Perrin are in the prophecies, as is Tuon, or just the daughter of the nine moons, whoever that was at that time, and happened to be Tuon. But we don't have a lot of prophecies from any. I think it's more or less those four, and I can't think of
Well,
anyone else.
Perrin is definitely in the prophecies.
yep. And
So is Luke.
Matt is.
Luke
Matt is.
is
Oh,
also
Lord Luke.
Luke,
He's
yes,
a
yes,
Luke
dark
is in
yes.
the
prophecy. Yeah.
prophecies. He even says it. I mean, to Perrin.
Is Pattern
As
Fane?
yes.
Pat Fane is.
Yes. Yeah, I believe he is. I
Oh,
believe he
I can't
is.
remember. I can't remember. If he is, please chat and give us. And if Noah
Let me
Garden or
think.
Wadaholic or someone, yeah,
Let
help
me
us out.
think.
Perrin is in Dark
No.
Prophecy? What the fuck does that mean?
Perrin
Well,
is
with
in the
Luke.
dark. He's in the dark prophecies. Perrin is in the they remember
The Wolf
um
King.
but also in the dark prophecies, it Moradin reads to Grendel that the wolf will fall.
Mm.
And they didn't realize that they were talking about Hopper getting killed.
Oh,
Oh, what? Hopper's in the fucking prophecies
He's the
without
wolf that
Moraine or
falls.
Loyal?
He's the wolf that died.
What? What?
all right. This is
That's a
blowing my mind.
bold statement. All right, so we have like 5 or 6 people now in prophecies.
And a wolf.
I mean, I guess you could say Tigraine because she was
Yep,
of the
I
Tigraine,
was
line
gonna
born
say,
of a
of.
yep, yep.
maiden. Born of a maiden. Yep, Tigraine.
Um,
Who else?
Yeah, okay. But they're all in correlation to our four main people, the three boys and Egwin. And again, it's weird that Nynaeve isn't in there because she does some of the most miraculous shit
Yeah.
in the books. Yeah, nothing about a healer, nothing about a braid, nothing, nothing about a stone face. Oh, wait, Lan is in the prophecies, ain't he?
Uh,
Isn't he the king with no land or the broken crown or some shit like that?
you might be right.
The towers, broken towers, something. Hey, I don't know.
I know. Yeah,
Anyways.
that's before they invented ED medication.
Oh, Nynaeve. I've not been with a woman since I got
You got,
raped when I was like 15.
yeah, you gotta channel that bitch. Come on. All right.
Yeah. Oh, she's like, I got you, baby.
I mean, the trumpet that they talk about when the trumpets of battles are blown, I believe, is the one that was in the attic of Sinbui. When the trumpets of battle are blown, that's one of the part of the prophecies that they talk about. And I believe it's Jane Farstrider who says that to Matt.
that Sen
Bro,
Bowie is
hey, Jansen, get the
no
hell out of
Dan
here.
Dan Dan
Senbui is not in the prophecies.
I didn't
Danson.
say he was,
You reptile.
but he
Yeah,
blew
Jansen, I
he,
trusted you this whole time. I trusted
he blew the trumpet, is what I'm saying.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, Sam Bowie blows.
You did.
Oh, okay, or just Bowie blows, Dan Bowie blows. All right.
Hashtag Bowie
At least
Blues.
that's what I said.
So this guy starts to break down the Three Oaks and starts seeing how easily they are to kind of be manipulated. The prime example of the first one, you can tell no words that are not true, is the example of Moraine with Child Valda, Child Bonehold, and her saying, "Yeah, we're meeting my sister in Whitebridge," giving something that is technically not untrue, but is certainly a suggestion that is not true as well. It is
Yeah,
in essence, it's not a lie, but it's untruth.
And Kant would say you can't do that.
You can't.
You can't.
Emmanuel can't do that.
You can't.
He was a stickler for that.
If his name was Emmanuel Khan, do you think he would have been like, you can do that?
Like if he was Emmanuel, go ahead. yeah.
Emmanuel's all good.
You go ahead. You can't. Content says here is a strong advocate of what's called deontological ethics. Deontological suggests duty based. So he is more talking about like how Galad or some of the Dragonsworn, perhaps the people who are duty born to do these things and act based on faith and based on their own moral ethics that this is the right thing to do. Right? That's deontological would be it's my duty to do this. These are people who are service people, but also like look for injustices where they see them and whatever.
Yeah. And then he like compares that to consequentialism, which is the belief that the morality of a decision is in direct relationship to its impact on the greater good.
And I think this is how we mostly try to make decisions on like our little small levels. We put positives on one scale, we put negatives on one scale, and if the positive is better, we do it.
Yeah, but also like deontology like occurs in so many like subdivisions of our lives. Like if you work for a company, you might like you might think that like, oh, if you like pocket a 20 from the register, it's coming out of like your paycheck, whereas if you were to steal from a different company at 20 out of their register, it would feel different. Like deontology, like it is like right, like it's what your understanding of duty is in relation to your like your lived experience. And that's one of the things I was like, whoa, what the fuck is duty? Like
Well, no,
you're either going to go
deontology.
religious and say like the religious texts are my duty, or you're going to be like, my duty is to my government, to my company, to my family. Like these all become like inventions that are not like necessarily based in ethics, because I will do shit for my family that I would never do if it was not to protect my family, right? And
Well,
my ethics
let's get back
are
to
not static like that.
the deontology. So if you take 20 from a place you work, the deontology would suggest that is always wrong. You are duty based to protect the trust that the innkeeper or the store shop, the cheesemonger, whoever has put into you to run the shop without stealing.
Yeah.
That's a duty based thing. Even if you're like, I should do. Also, like if you tie the church, this stuff is duty based. It's not like you do it because you feel that it's like part of your
But
faith. You need
but
to
do you
do.
see how like, but also like, do you see how ephemeral then it becomes? Like it's shifting. They're like the whole like
Sure.
thing you're like focused on, like the parameters of this duty just shifts around. So it's not like something that like you could. It seemed very hard to look at what he's talking about and be like, okay, then like duty to my government, is that override duty to my God? Does that override duty to my family? All those decisions then
Human
become
way,
like,
yeah.
right, where does the duty lie in like more complicated like decision making? But
Right.
right,
Right.
if
I
your
mean,
duty is to do a good job at work, but then all of a sudden you're like causing cancer through like through like hiding cigarette, like you might be the best person at deceiving everyone that cigarettes are safe, but in the end, like what your real then duty shifts. Like your duty should be to like the greater good, but like you also have a duty to your company, and that gets all like weird. But anyway, sorry.
right. I mean, yeah. Yeah, but yeah. That. um, when we talk consequential, it is more a subjective feeling, right? So
Well, I
it
mean,
is
it's like a degree. And people have their own degree of how far they'll go.
right, right, right. So it isn't necessarily or I guess it is duty based on what you feel your duty as a normal citizen on the street is. So if
And like
something is happening on the street, yeah,
if you're talking about the three oaths, now this is very interesting because they have the three oaths, which are seem to be specific, and the general layman in the Wheel of Time in the world believes them and understands them and trusts them that these women aren't going to come down with hellfire on them one day. And they trust them because they don't think they're going to lie. They don't think they're going to hurt them. They think they're there for the light, which most of them are. But that being said, the oaths are specific to each sister and how they interpret it. Because
right.
they say at least three different times, specifically with like Teslin and with Jolene, that I don't know if I feel threatened yet. So
Mm-hmm.
one woman who's really tough might not be threatened until somebody's right on top of her with their fist in her face. And some might feel threatened if they're 2 miles away and they may think an arrow might be at their back.
Well, hold on. This is a weird example to use because they do reach a consensus. They don't attack until they both agree.
That's true. Yes, and they say
So
that.
it
They
is
actually say, yes, I feel.
right there. It was like hey, you feel? I think I'm threatened enough. She's like, yeah, me too. And they go,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Hey Dan, real quick, your mic's cutting in and out, or like if you can get as close
Oh,
to
okay.
yeah, that sounds better. I see you getting into it, but like you got more mic discipline with that shit.
No, I'm using my headphones, so
Yeah, your headset, really?
yeah, they're in my
Yeah.
ears.
No, that's weird. It's like it's doing some weird shit. Do you have like auto like volume on your setting?
No, I'll switch to a new
All
mic.
right. All right.
All right, is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Like, and here's another way that, like, you know, there's a difference between lying and being wrong and saying what's not true. You know, like, because different Aes Sedai interpreted the cycle of the dragon differently. They had to. Because
Yeah.
if that were the case, Elida would have never done the things that she did, not being a dark friend and doing what she did. You know, and she had to do the things that she thought was right, what she thought, and the things that she said had to be what she thought was true. So
Yeah. It does allow for like mental illness to like if you're a mentally ill Aes Sedai, like you're gonna make crazy decisions and right just because you believe it. That's funny.
yeah.
So moving forward, I love the evolution of this whole article. And again, like we encourage you to read this. It's a really good one. He goes from consequentialism, and then he starts talking about, surprisingly enough, like Buddhism.
Yeah.
And he does an analysis of Aes Sedai decisions through first like Kantian ethics, then consequentialism, and then we end up on Buddhism. And he starts talking about Buddhists' reverence for wisdom as a way to like wise people will be more compassionate, and more compassion is always good. And then he says, who's more wise than like 300-year-old like Aes Sedai, right? And he then compare. So it's kind of like confusing to get what is he really getting at, but he starts comparing Aes Sedai actions and decision making as every rule they're breaking because they're wise and their heads are straight and their hearts are right, and they're making decisions that are decisions that you basically mere human uh, can't understand the complexities of. So the wisdom of the Aes Sedai allows them to be strong fighters, make decisions such as killing baby Hitler. Go back to the beginning. Like an Aes Sedai could do that because they're doing it out of like a source of wisdom. And that was fascinating. And in the very end, he starts talking about, what is it? The Shinto Buddhists? Who are the fighters?
No, they are the what's it called?
Shaolin.
Like
Shaolin,
Shaolin,
yeah.
Shaolin, yeah.
Yeah. So then he brings up Shaolin Buddhists who learn to fight to reduce like evil. Right. And then he brings it all around to say that there are like female Buddhist Shaolins, and that's what he thinks the Aes Sedai. If you look at all the ethical like examples that he was breaking down, in the end, he resolved to say that the wisdom of the Aes Sedai, he considers them to be female Shaolin Buddhists who can do harm, but we allow them to do harm because it's for the greater good. And they do it with the right, like all the Buddhists kind of like right mentality, right intention, right thought. It's very fascinating. There's no way I'm going to get to it all the way, but like I just wanted to get to the end because I love the point he made with that. What do you guys think about that?
All right. So this article in like 7 pages was literally all over the fucking place. To be honest, he brought in egoism. He brought in like comparativism. He brought in. He was talking about what was it? Compassionate wisdom versus wise compassion. But there's only 4 notes in the back of this essay, and I was left wanting. There's only one actual book quote from Kant. So this thing kind of like rattled me a little bit because suddenly we're talking about the 5 paths to enlightenment within the Aes Sedai, which I never really considered any of the Aes Sedai trying to achieve enlightenment, and he actually points that out. He's like, yeah, it might not be the best example because they suck at trying to become enlightened.
Yeah, but don't they get enlightened every time they open up to Sedai?
Yeah, maybe they have a jump start. They don't have to like even look for it. It's right there. Oh, that's funny.
Because they see the world completely different.
No. Would someone who is enlightened lie? The way Moraine does.
Would somebody who is enlightened still want personal gain?
I don't think they would lie at all. I think compassion. I don't think they would lie at all, unless it was not even the most compassionate thing to do.
Would they lie to save someone? Would they be Galat?
I think that if it's the most compassionate thing to do, then they would.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
See, and that's what. Well, I mean, again, like compassion, it almost breaks down in numbers. Like this book series I'm reading, like there's this like very like hyper intelligent like being who can read everyone's emotions and then starts controlling them, and like they all start like behaving differently around him, but you question throughout, like, is he doing this for a greater good? Like, because he's still like there's some sort of great threat coming and he's rallying nations in a way, right? But like you don't know if in the end, like consequentially, like is this all this lies and subterfuge to get these people to do what must be done? Is that in the end going to be like a net positive? You know what I mean?
I think the common denominator is this. I think that the main goal for the entire White Tower was to see Tarmangaden won.
Yes.
So whatever they had to do that was okay.
So that's where in this book this essay it says, quote, Aes Sedai are consequentialists who sometimes disagree with each other, but that essentially they all have a similar goal in line, but they disagree. I'm sorry to interrupt. I thought I had more on that. I guess I don't. But this book does. So it describes that Moraine acts mostly out of act utilitarianism, except when rule utilitarianism suits her. And the Amyrlin seat acts mostly out of rule utilitarianism. But Leandrin acts out of egoism. None of these terms are really defined and are just kind of tossed around flippantly. But I guess we can suss out what act utilitarianism versus rule utilitarianism is in regards to the Amyrlin's power structure and whatnot. And act utilitarianism is just, what is that? Is that just reacting? Is that just life? I don't know. I don't know what that even means, to be honest. So thanks, Steve Bine. I wish you could have added just a little bit more context, I guess, or some notes in the back that like define, like pushes me somewhere to learn about these things. Give me a footnote.
All right. Well, here we go. Like, Dan, I just want to introduce you to this whole thing. You might even have it on your phone. It's called Google.
Jeeves? Ask Jeeves. What's Google?
Here's Google definition. Act utilitarianism is an ethical theory holding that an action is morally right if and only if it produces the best possible result, maximizing pleasure and minimizing pain.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And what is rule utilitarianism?
I'm not gonna look all this up live, but yeah, like
okay.
All right, no, here we go. Rule utilitarianism. Then let's fucking wrap this bad boy up. This has been a good show,
Okay. Sure.
but the rule utilitarianism is an action is morally right if it conforms to a set of rules that, if generally followed, would produce the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people.
Which,
So,
therefore,
Ugh.
so that tolerates lies even through the first oath. Can we interpret that as being rule utilitarianist? Jansen, what do you think?
No,
But it's not a lie though if it's the truth.
yeah, Dan. They're not lying. They're just truthing in a
It's
flimsy way.
misdirection, and they're misdirecting. They're misdirecting people who they deem as naive. And that's one of the reasons why, like, Tamal Thor is the first person in the entire series to do this. He says, "Tell me what she said exactly, her exact words."
Yeah.
Because some people were smart enough to figure out what they were saying.
Yeah. And your Aes Sedai mind tricks have no power over me.
Yeah. So there were some people who could see through that. There were even some people who could see through compulsion, more gays. So I mean, there was it's I guess wow, it's even if you're being lied to is individually based too. How you take it in and your intelligence level, all those things. Like
now this is funny. I started this whole basis of questioning by asking directly, is Moraine a liar? And I think you guys said yes, but now I'm hearing no, she never lies.
She is a misdirection person because she can't lie. She can't.
What is it?
She's taking.
She said no. It said she can't speak a word that isn't true. But is she lying? I contend yes. She lies all the time.
Yeah, I guess you know.
But actionably at the end of the book, spoiler, Rand beats the Dark One.
What?
A lot of good shit happens.
What?
So all of her actions as an act, whatever.
So are you a means justify the ends, or the ends justify the means kind of guy? If you waterboard if Perrin cut off his person's hand, right? All right, never mind. Sorry.
No, I mean, yeah, let's, no, it would be fun, guys.
That's consequentialist, right?
No. I think this is the best way to end the show. Let's each answer the Hitler problem. You're in a time machine. Do you go back and fucking kill baby Hitler? Oh,
Jansen, I'll let you go first.
I'm thinking. Are you asking would I kill him, yes or no, or what would I do?
Like no. I mean, if you want to say how you would do it, feel free. But I'm just saying yes or no. Would you go back and kill?
So
I mean, I'll go back to.
This is a rough question because it's like, I mean, do I want to go back and kill the most evil person I've ever heard of in my lifetime? That's the right thing to do. As far as that, I mean, if you know that that's going to happen, and we're talking about doing something that the theory of relativity says we can't do, at least, then yeah, you either no, you know what, but you don't have to kill.
Like,
you don't have to kill him.
I mean, like, I don't think you can, like.
Are you going back to alter time, to alter what he did?
Yeah, let's imagine you have like one day. Like, I don't think you can like hang out with this kid and make him a better person.
Give him Viagra. He would not.
So that he makes better decisions later on. I think
like you got. I mean, you kidnap him and you put him in a adoption agency in Australia or in London or someplace else. Don't give him the same path that he went. Put him in an artist colony. He was an artist when he was younger. Like, he continued that. He became a great artist. He sold it and, whatever. But alter his path. I mean, if you can go back in time and do anything, why not do anything? It'd be very hard to go back and kill a child.
Yeah, I mean, I think back to the Whitest Kid You Know clip where this guy pops up and he's like, "Oh, I just came back from the past. I just killed Henry Weinhardt or whatever." And there's like, "Oh, who's that?" And he's like, "Oh, you never heard of him? That's great. He was like a really bad guy. He killed like 500 Jews." And he's like, "Wait a minute, why didn't you kill Hitler?" And he's like, "Who's Hitler?" And he's like, "Oh no, 500 wouldn't have been bad, but now there's millions." So I think go on.
We have to remember Hitler was voted for. That's just the funny thing about history. When people talk about this evil man,
it's a rigged election.
They talk about this evil man, but he didn't do it by himself. He didn't do it by himself.
Dan, is that a donut in like an almost triangle?
Right. It's a drone missile on your house.
Oh no, I think it's a donut in an almost.
I'm watching
triangle.
you.
Oh no, I'm being threatened with.
Oh no, with emojis.
This is getting scary because that's my Dan. That's my signature.
That is your signature. How does this background? That's your piece of land, Ryan. You have 2 acres of just dust. That's part of his. How did he have that as your background?
So much puppet hate. Like, hang on a little bit. Get to know us.
No, Ryan has a cute dinosaur shirt and everything.
Yeah, I'm a huge deal, bitch.
Yeah, bitch. Oh no! He's a dead man with a missile going up his butt.
Oh
no. All right. A red triangle, can you at least hit the thumb and subscribe?
Yeah. Like and subscribe before you abuse us.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. I hope you have a great Sunday. This article went from one thing all of a sudden to being like, so yeah, I think the Sedai were Shaolin nuns. The end.
The end.
And it was lowered.
Yeah, I don't like that. But
I liked the talk. I liked the article. I liked talking, like reading about it. But it was a bit. It was like shooting a shotgun at like a wall. It just like things were all over the place. It seemed. I don't know.
And I agree with that. I love this ending sentence. I wanted to
Thanks,
read it.
Yeah, do it, Ryan.
He goes, I don't see an equivalent to the Eightfold Path in Jordan's novels, but borrowing the first 5 steps does help us make sense of why the Aes Sedai ethics seem so weird. And drawing on Buddhism is not a random choice. Clearly, Jordan drew from Indian philosophy in creating the metaphysics of the wheel of time, reincarnation, the balance, rather than opposition of good and evil. And I love that point. And then he says, even the wheel itself, they are all evidence of this. So really, it should come as no surprise if the ethics follow the metaphysics. Which is fucking awesome.
Well, so what he was so... Yeah, because we didn't really get into it, but he has these like the 5 paths or the 5 steps to the Eightfold Path, right? And he lists them as having right views, having right intent, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. And he combines, he connects those to the 3 oaths, but he says specifically, quote, the 3 oaths in the 5-step path are independent. They complement each other and must be observed simultaneously.
Yeah.
So it says, well, the first oath says, speak no word that is not true. The 3rd step, which is right speech, speak in a way that defends the world from shadow, as he has it, says you can allow people to reach the wrong conclusion if deceiving them in that way helps defend it. He's saying based on these paths, it's actually morally cool if you do that, just so long as it's all against the shadow. So he says right views is see reality as it truly is, not as deluded or corrupted minds have taught you. The right intent says based on your corrected vision of reality, make it your goal to defend the world from the dark one and his servants. Right
So,
speech is speak in a way that defends the world from shadow. Right action is act in a way that defends the world from shadow. And right livelihood is just be cool.
so where does Varen fit into all this?
I think Varen follows those paths.
Yeah, no,
But
she's
she
a,
does.
yeah.
She's killed, and remember, she says to her, Egwene, it would take a very special kind of redemption to help me. She
No,
has done very evil things for the greater
yes,
good. She
but
said.
like, all right, but all right. So like, let's look at it two ways. One is she an act utilitarian? Is she just acting in a way that she believes is going to create a greater good, or consequentialist? In the end, could Rand have done what he had done? Would the last battle have looked the same if Varen did not do as she did? I believe nothing would have worked if Varen didn't do as she did. So consequentially, I believe we might be able to say that every action she did in the end was like killing baby Hitler over and over again.
Right, but do we also think that there was a Varen in all these other ages?
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah.
It wasn't her name. Her name was probably
no.
Joyce.
I don't think so. There's only one. There's only one White Tower. I mean, yeah, like maybe every time it.
I mean, her soul.
Around.
Yeah, her soul. I mean, and it's very possible that Viren had a gray soul. You know, one that had to work in both, the dark and the light. Mace Windu, if you would. Like she had to use both things for the greater good.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect
right.
yes.
Right.
Did.
Well, it's not even greater good. It's against the shadow in Professor Bynes' reasoning in combining the 5 steps to the path. So that's, and I kind of actually liked that. It just came out of nowhere for me compared to the first 3 pages or so. Suddenly we were talking about the like in the last 2 pages we were talking about Buddhism, but I like this connection a lot, and I wish that he just built on that a little bit more, and just had the whole thing be the Buddhist path to enlightenment through Aes Sedai or whatever, and taking a couple examples. He mentions Leandrin, but just as Leandrin as an exception to being like, she doesn't do any of this shit. She's just all for herself, and that's it. It's Moraine, the Amyrlin, and Leandrin. But I would have loved to have seen Varen or some other shit. Like even
example,
Nynaeve,
like,
man.
and it seemed like he didn't know Leandrin was like a Black Aja. So
well, let's think about Alana.
Alana's a good one. Alana's a great one.
She essentially rapes a man for what she thinks is right.
Do we blame her for did the pattern compel her, do you think, to do what she did?
I think that her grief over losing her other warder and the fact that Fail made it known that she would kill her if she tried to do it to Perrin, that she was in a state that she
just needed a fix.
I mean,
I need that.
Because remember, Varen even sat her down after she did it and said, "We didn't discuss you doing this."
Yeah, no, but also was that the wrong?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Did the pattern push her to do it? Was it like
or no,
part of the
or
fucking
just
shit?
Or was she just like fucking like high end, if like she did okay, well, I mean, did she do the right thing? It's one of the most dangerous things she could have done, right? But in the end, was it the right thing?
Well, she put the Dragon Reborn at the most risk because she did exactly what Gowan did to Egwene. She didn't put herself in harm's way like Gowan did, but she didn't put into consideration the fact that if she was killed, the world ends.
All right,
Isn't it crazy that people hate Gowan
but that
more
puts her on
than
equal measure with all of his wives. Right. So I mean, but he chose his wives. I get all that, but in the end, like if she's like super soldier trying to save the world, making that move, I thought was badass. And also, I do believe that by the time she was like lying, almost dying, right? And Nynaeve was like curing, like that meant nothing to Rand. We have a lot of Rand POV, and he was not wiping a tear off of his cheek that woman's like dying like 10 feet
What
from
if
it.
she had died though?
I don't think it would have mattered. He was Bodhisattva Rand.
There is a physical magical bond that gets ripped off of you. This is like, I mean, maybe it wouldn't because he wasn't even in his body.
Well, no. Remember,
man.
they make references to Rand tearing up from the inside, feeling himself unravel because of the people around him that were getting hurt. Now, he specifically meant one of them when he was talking about Elaine, when she was
Egwin, right?
No, when Elaine was getting ripped into and they were about to take her babies.
Mm-hmm.
Rand was feeling that. It said he felt one of the women hurting. And so he was feeling things. Now, I'm not sure he was. You're right. They didn't specifically mention that Alana was hurting.
Jansen,
what is his like health bar going down? I'm sorry, I'm talking over you, Dan. Go on.
Jansen, doesn't he even say, I can feel it and I can't do anything, but I have to let it go.
Yes.
And, that was like, he feels all that shit and like physically Bodhisattva's the fuck up, like levels.
And that's a good point because it's very possible. Let it go. It's very possible that his being that soul, letting it go at the time, Alana's death might have not even harmed him.
Yeah.
So
that's how I feel. That he was like on a level.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
He became like the creator.
I think you're probably right, Ryan.
Like he had the whole world in his hands. He had the whole world in his hands. He got the whole. All right.
With the death may have been amplified though. Like as I'm thinking of it, the death may have like caused a whole wobble in all of his shit.
So with the entire wheel,
we just don't know.
With the entire everything being yin and yang, Saidin Saidar, opposites, with the dark one being in every single everything, every age, everywhere, every timeline, everywhere. What if every time the cycle changes, it goes back to one? There's a new creator.
That's Rand. Rand is
the next time. So what about the next time? There's going to be a new creator.
That's what Josh proposed after he finished the book. He's like, Rand is like the new one,
the new creator. Yeah, I agree because
he imprisoned the dark one, right?
And he also has that
moment of his creation. Go ahead.
And at the end, he can create anything he wants.
Yes. Yeah, he's going to be smoking the best weed.
All day.
All day, every day. He's just going to be walking the roads. All right.
It's all apparent, my man. You got to check this stuff out.
Everyone's stoked when Rand pops up.
Yeah, Rand's like, hey. And he's turning water into weed.
No, he's like, watch this. Rand's getting like Martha Stewart high and shit. All right. Guys, and Tavern Talk, we are almost done with the Read React series focusing on the Wheel of Time and philosophy. This has been a great episode. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for all your comments. We do this for you. Please like and subscribe. We have a Patreon, and we're great. Join our Discord. That's the best way to get a hold of us.
Or just text Ryan. His number is 916 blah 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 blah.
555. All right, he was on all the spectrums. Oh yeah, what's going on, Glanson?
What?
I called you Glanson.
Oh, that's a new one.
No, the Gleeman and dancing together.
I thought it was his huge glands, son.
Dan, don't tell everyone.
All right. Go on, Jessica.
Oh, no, nothing. Everything is, I was just saying it's great. This is a great episode. I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone knows you'd have the most successful OnlyFans in the world if only you would just do it.
If only fans.
Only. All right.
Guys, thanks for hanging out. There's only a few of you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are awesome. And I love you, and I'm proud of you. Ryan, I just wanted to say that. Sorry.
What do we do? What do we do when the world's collapsing?
We watch
like an aluminum ball.
Shut off that CNN app. We close our laptops. We toss our iPads off the window, and we run for our lives because it is the way to leave.